A place to be, to groom your words, a place that is secured for the rest of mine. No other place but burial schools is the best.
Good day, my good friends, and here once again, still whom you know, Okeke Benedict. This is Okeke Benedict. I'm going to take you on social studies. Social studies. And our topic for today is dangers of drug abuse. Dangers of drug abuse. Remember last week we did drug abuse. Who can remind me what drug abuse means? Drug abuse is the misuse of medicine without the doctor's prescription. Do you still remember that? Yes, I'm sure. Drug abuse, once again, is the incorrect use or misuse of medicine without the doctor's prescription. That is it. And we also did proper use of drugs and improper use of drugs. I'll tell you one proper use of drugs to cure our sicknesses and diseases in our body. Then improper is when you have self-medication. Self-medication, that is treating ourselves or taking the medicine more than what the doctor has prescribed for you. That is improper use of drugs. Now today is dangers of drug abuse. Since I'm not what drug abuse is, what are the dangers of drug abuse? What are the dangers of drug abuse? Mental illness. Mental illness. If someone engages in drug abuse, he or she can become mad. He or she can become mad. This is because of the wrong drug. The wrong drug may affect he or his brain. His brain or her brain. It can affect her brain or his brain. The second one is accident. The second one is what? Accident. If anyone takes drug without the advice of the doctor, if anyone takes drugs without the advice of the doctor, he can become sleepy. He can become sleepy or troubled. In other ways, if such a person drives, he may have accidents. So drug abuse is not good. Addiction is the next one. Addiction. This is when a person cannot live or stay without a particular thing. I give you an example. I know of somebody that chews chewing gum every blessed day. You can never see him or her without chewing gum. Without chewing what? Gum. That's chewing gum. He has been addicted to it. He cannot live without it. So also in drug. When you see somebody taking drug every now and then, he cannot live without taking it. He or she is addicted to it. He is what? Addicted to that drug. Some people believe only drugs can make them sleep. Some people also believe that drugs can cool their temper, their anger. It's wrong. That is, you have been addicted to it. It is very, very wrong, my dear children. It is wrong. So know that. Now another point is dropping out of what? School. Dropping out of school. Drug can make you to drop out of school. That is when you are addicted to that drug and you take it every time, you won't know what is going on in the school. You enter a classroom, you'll be moping like what I don't know, like a goat. Which is not good. Drug abuse is not good. Drug is not good. Dropping out of school. That person, after some time, will drop out of school because staying there is wasting of his time and his parents' money. So you better drop. You will leave the school. Another one is debts. Debts. Excessive use of any pain drug is not good. Like paracetamol. Excessive use of it is not good. It can lead to death. It can lead to death. It's not good. Use something normal, not too much. Too much of everything is not bad. When it is excess, it's not good. So my children, let's have something down first before we continue. Yes, as I told you, that drugs abuse can be dangerous in the following ways. Drug abuse can be dangerous in the following ways. One, mental illness. It causes mental illness. It causes what? Mental illness. It causes mental illness. As I told you, if you continue taking drugs, abusing drugs, if you continue abusing drugs, it will affect your brain. And maybe you have been seeing some boys moving on the road, picking something, eating from the gutter and dustbins. It is because some of them, majority of them, is the result of drug abuse. Then number two is accidents. Accidents. Somebody who is driving, who is handling steering every time, cannot abuse drugs, will not take drugs. Because when he takes drugs, he may feel sleepy on the steering and it will cause accident. He or she may have accidents. Then three is addiction. Addiction. When someone is addicted to one particular thing, it is bad. When someone is used in one particular thing, is fond of taking one particular thing every blessed day, that person has been addicted to that thing. So in drugs is also that. If someone is addicted to drugs, it is not good. Some people, like our players, they believe that when they take drugs, they can fly in the field, they can play very well, they can give goals upon goals. But not that. It's not good. Number four is dropping out of school. It causes someone to drop out of school. Because when you take drugs and go to school, you don't understand what the teacher or the lecturer is talking about. The best thing is to leave the school, to drop out. Because staying there does not make any sense. Staying there is wasting of your time. Staying there is wasting of your parents' money. So you better drop. 5, deaths. Like taking too much pain reliever causes death. Like paracetamol. It causes death. So take normal drug, and how the doctor prescribed to you. Then we have another one, ways of preventing drug abuse. How can we prevent drug abuse? All these ones are the dangers of drug abuse. Now, after the dangers of drug abuse, knowing the dangers of drug abuse, how can you prevent them? Now I've listed ways of preventing the drug abuse, the dangers of drug abuse. One is avoid self-medication. Avoid what? Self-medication. Don't treat yourself whenever you are sick. Please, my children, take mommy to take you to hospital to see a doctor. Don't treat yourself. Don't go to a street doctor to buy medicine. Please go to hospital. 2, avoid buying drugs from drug sellers that are not registered. Drug sellers that are not registered. Once you notice that that person is not registered, please don't buy drugs because they are selling fake drugs. Fake drugs. Don't buy any drug there, even if it is what the one the doctor prescribed for you. Please you look for a pharmaceutical store to buy the drugs from them. 3 says avoid bad friends. Very important. Avoid bad friends who abuse drugs. Please select your friends. Especially when you enter higher school, select your friends because they are the people to lure you into it, taking drug. Avoid them. Avoid bad friends who abuse drugs. 4 says avoid expired drugs. Please, before you take any drug, read the label, and know if the drug has expired. Please don't take it. It leads to death. You can die if you take it. My children, do you want to die? No. Oh, my good friends. They don't want to die. They will not die, and you will not die in Jesus' name. Amen. Number 5 says, do not take drugs before your friend because your friend are taking them. Don't take because you see this person taking drugs. Oh, let me take now. Let me try. Oh boy, try. No, it's not there. Please don't take because you have seen your friend taking drugs. Number 6 says, get the advice of doctor, nurses, and pharmacists before taking drugs. Get the advice of the doctors, nurses, and pharmacists before taking drugs. As before you take any drugs, that's what I said, before you buy any drugs, when you ask, please go to hospital, see a doctor. The doctor will prescribe drugs for you. And when you want to buy the drug, don't go to street stores to buy drugs where they are not registered. Please go to pharmacy store and buy your drugs. I think I will leave it here for now. Before I give you your take-home assignment, your home activity. Okay, remember I told you that before I leave you, I'm going to give you home activity. Number 1 says, taking more of a drug than what the doctor asks us to take is called dash. Taking more of a drug than what the doctor asks us to take is called dash. Fill in the answer, the correct answer. Number 2, if anyone buys a drug by the roadside, the person is engaging in dash. If anyone buys a drug by the roadside, the person is engaging in dash. In what? Fill the correct answer. Number 3, when someone cannot do without taking a drug, it is called dash. When someone cannot do without taking a drug, it is called dash. Number 4, to prevent drug abuse, one must do one of the following. Just underline the correct answer. One of the following. A, avoid eating fruits. B, avoid self-medication. C, avoid eating foods. Only one is the correct answer. Just underline the correct answer. That one that is correct, underline it. Don't underline all 1, 2, 3. Don't underline 3 of them. Just underline 1. Now, let me rush over this for your better understanding. Dangers of drug abuse. We are talking of dangers all this time. We are talking of dangers of drug abuse. Drug abuse can be dangerous in the following ways. can be dangerous in the following ways. 1. Mental illness, accidents, addiction, dropping out of school, deaths. All these are dangers of drug abuse. Now, how can we treat them? How can we prevent them? Ways of preventing drug abuse. Ways of preventing drug abuse. 1. Avoid self-medication. Don't treat yourself. Avoid self-medication. 2. Avoid buying drugs from drug sellers that are not registered. 3. Avoid bad friends who abuse drugs. Avoid what? Bad friends who abuse drugs. 4. Avoid expired drugs. Before you take any drug, please check if that drug has expired. If it has expired, please don't take it. 5. Do not take drugs because your friends are taking them to do guys show, to show off. No, drugs are not to show off. They are not meant for showing off. Do not take drugs because your friends are taking them. 6. Get the advice of doctors, nurses, and pharmacists before taking drugs. Get the advice of doctors, nurses before taking drugs. That is why I said when you are sick, go to hospital. Now, let me read down again the home activity I've given you. 1. Taking more of a drug than what the doctor asks us to take is called dash. If anyone buys a drug by the if anyone buys a drug by the roadside, the person is engaging in dash. When someone cannot do without taking a drug, it is called dash. 4. To prevent drug abuse, one must do one of the following. A. Avoid eating fruits. B. Avoid self-medication. C. Avoid eating foods. This is where we are going to call it a day. Keep saving and keep. So as I said, we will call it a day here. Keep saving yourself. Okay, bye, and be a good child to your mommy and daddy.